Good morning and welcome to Module 3. As you answer your domain questions, you're probably wondering now about losing points and that sort of thing from these questions. Don't worry about the points right now in terms of the total. Each of the questions that you answer on domains, the 7 domains that are applicable, 5 of them for CASRA and the 7 of them for USPRA, they are going to be on your final and on the test that you take if you decide you want this certification. So it's really important that you look at the materials. When I give you the answers back each week, read those answers so that you can see how they figured out which is the best answer. It doesn't mean that something isn't true in all of them. It just means you need to choose the best answer as it pertains to that domain. I give you what the topic of the domain is on the where it says learning module. You'll see there that it says domain 1 and it has, a definition, 1 or 2 words that tells you what the topic is for the domain. So be sure you look at that. That should give you a clue about what the question deals with, whether it's cultural competence or ethics or, something of that nature. But give your very, very best answer. So far your answers have been really good and you're not going to lose a whole lot of points. It's just right now that when you look at that answer, be sure you see, why you missed it, because I give you the exact answer coming right from the people who write the test. So that's very important to you for the future and looking at what you're going to put on your practice test for CASRA USPRA. Your final, by the way, when you take it, there are X number of points for the finalers just for taking it. All you're doing is getting points for taking the test. You don't take the test, you get a 0. You take the test, you get 100%. It's not a test that is going to make you lose points based on whether you miss the domain questions. So you're trying to work for yourself to be able to pass the test by understanding what the domains are and what the best answer is in psychosocial rehabilitation. And I want to talk for just a moment about the field trip next week. If you go ahead and look at the Module 4, Module 4 gives you all the information on the trip to Houston and or the alternative assignment that if you don't go, what you need to do. So be sure you look at that for next week. It is not a typical assignment day, and it will take you some time on that question if you do an alternative assignment because you're going to get a sheet from me at the field trip if you attend it, and it's going to have questions that you need to write the answers to on as you sit there and you listen to David Tafoya, or you ask him a question so that he'll talk about what that question is. You can't miss if you go. So, but the other one, you'll be responsible for looking up the information on your own if you don't attend the field trip, because I want you to get the same information. It's just that you'll have to dig it out on your own in your own time. But it is next week's total assignment. So go ahead this week and not only do your Module 3, but also look at Module 4 so you have all the details on the field trip. I know that some of you may have a transportation problem or you may have to work or whatever, and that's why you want to take a look at the other assignment, the alternate assignment now, so you have time to work on it. It's deliberately scheduled first thing in the morning, and it will last no more than about an hour, if that long. I'm going to ask him to look at the questions that I'm asking you and address those topics, and you'll get to see the facility and kind of talk about how a program like the Houston program affects the entire community. In fact, it affects all of South County in terms of the services it provides for small towns. They can't afford all the services that towns like Turlock and Modesto can provide separately. So be sure you understand that. But look now and try to understand what's expected on that alternative assignment. It's a good assignment, and I would like to just require it of everybody, but I'm not going to do that. So you have a choice on which one you use. So please feel free to ask questions on it. And if you need a ride or something, you can ask your peers in your discussion question or whatever. Somebody mentioned today to me about they live in Patterson and they go to school on a bus. And so Houston does not have a bus from Patterson that goes there. So if we can help each other, that would be fine. I live in Turlock. If somebody that's in Turlock and needs a ride, let me know. But I will be going early. So if you want to go, let me know and I will try to be available. So let's help each other and get there. And I think you'll enjoy it if you do get to go. I asked you to let me know no later than next, the 4th, which is Monday, I believe, so that I can let David know how many people to expect, and also so that I have a good idea of how many people are actually going to take advantage of that. So anyway, you have a great week, and I think it'll be a fun experience, and I'd like to make it a fun learning experience, and it's not meant to penalize anybody, but the information I think you'll find interesting. Thanks.